Yes. So, importance of our constitution. Our constitution contains valuable information regarding the structure, organs, duties, and responsibilities of the government. Our constitution regulates the relationship between the various organs as well as between the citizens and the government. Our constitution has a system of checks and balances. This prevents the misuse of power vested in the government. There are checks and balances. People do go on checking. India has a diverse population. It is important to protect the rights of the minorities, the people who are below the poverty level, minorities. Our constitution guarantees certain rights to the minorities to protect them against the oppression by the majority. Minority is a low part of the society. Minority people, very small little people, the minority group, those who are not able to do anything, so that they do not get suppressed or they are not, vandalized or they are not manipulated by the majority people. That's why they are given certain rights. Our constitution also guarantees certain fundamental rights to the citizens in order to protect them against any injustice by the government. Fundamental rights are there. We haven't done that. There's no fundamental rights here in the book. Uh, Fundamental rights are in the next chapter. We'll do that separately. Right to equality, right to freedom, right to belief, right to go anywhere, right to follow any religion. That is there in the right of fundamental rights. Now, need for laws. Laws are meant for the welfare and security of the people. They serve as means of bringing about social change and establishing an egalitarian society. In traditionally unequal society like India, which is plagued by social evils such as dowry, female feticide, and alcoholism, the need for laws becomes even more important. Let us read about some social evils and the efforts made to stop their practice. Okay? So we come to that part. Now we know that we need laws to protect our country as well as the society, and we need, it is a great welfare also. Right? Now they are calling this social evil. They are saying social evil, and at the same time it is said that they serve as means. Laws are meant for the welfare of the security. Sorry, laws are meant for the welfare and security of the people. Okay, they serve as a means of bringing about a social change and establishing an egalitarian society. What is egalitarian society? Egalitarian society means believing on the principle that all people are equal and deserve equal rights and opportunities. Okay. I believe all people were created equal and should be treated equal. Egalitarianism is Martin Luther King Jr. He was a person who fights for civil rights, right? So he believes that all people were created equal and should be treated equal. Okay, so that is, we should also have this. So India has this society that we are all equal. Everyone has been made equal. It's actually a French, from French it's called eagle, meaning equal, or we can say equalitarianism is a school of thought with political philosophy that builds from the concept of social society or social affairs or political affairs or economic affairs, means equal. Egalitarian, or we can say it egalitarian, egalitarian. Okay, so that's how we pronounce that word. So this is what it is trying to do, the laws. And what are the social evils in this place? They are saying as female feticide, dowry, and alcoholism. What is dowry system? Let's see. See, now dowry system in India is very tough to stop. It is refers to durable goods, cash, and real or movable property that the bride's family gives to the bridegroom, his parents, and his relatives as a condition of the marriage. This dowry system can be put as a great financial burden on the bride's family, but not in case of the white collars or the huge businessmen or the rich people. They want to show that how much money we have. That depends. If you want to show how much money you have, what you want to do. Okay. Now the dowry system in India. It is India's cute inheritance laws, and the Hindu Succession Act needed to be amended to stop the routine of disinheritance of daughters. Dowry is essentially in the nature of a payment in cash or some kind of gifts given to the bridegroom's family along with the bride, and includes cash, jewelry, electric appliance, furniture, bedding, crockery, utensil, vehicles, and other household items that help the newlyweds set up their home. Dowry is also known as dahez in Arabic. In far eastern parts of India, dowry is called aunpot. Now, the father or the girl's family, they are able to pay 4 lakhs total. Plus, they have to give the fooding, they have to throw a great party reception. People will come and eat and they'll come to. It's a social gathering for people to know that my daughter is married. Why can't you just get married quietly? What is the problem? I'm just saying, if it's in my type of thinking, why should I feed everyone? Why should I tell everyone? If I have a registered, if I go to the court and I get to a solemn, quiet marriage within the family, we have food within ourselves, dance, do whatever, have a great party. And we register ourselves, the government knows that we are married. That is the main thing, the government has to know that we are married. Correct? Now this dahez or this dowry, why should I give it? The boy's family does not have? Or for getting married I have to buy a fridge first? Why can't I work hard and get that? My type of thinking. Yes, gifts are there. Obviously, my daughter is getting married. I want to gift her this. I want to gift the bridegroom that. That is something different. But a demand should not be there, which is not acceptable in our type of society right now. But things are duly happening, so this has to be stopped. Many people commit suicide. It's a huge financial burden. They take loans and they're not able to give it back. Daughter is tortured because she's not paid the amount of money. She's not treated well in her in-laws' house. Many things happen for get married. They burn the wife. Okay. Now, in some cases, the dowry system leads to crime against women, ranging from emotional abuse and injury even to deaths. Psychological abuse, characterized by a person subject exposing another person to behavior that may result psychological trauma. Chronic people go into chronic depression. Okay, they face hate, treated badly. This payment of dowry has been long prohibited under the specific Indian laws, including the Dowry Prohibition Act 1961 and subsequently by sections 304B and 498B. 498A is dangerous. If a girl goes and reports to the police station or the Mahila police station and says that I have been tortured for dowry, the police will not think twice. These days the rules have changed. They'll go and ask the neighbors, they'll not go and ask the family. So if they come to know any issue, there'll be full family will be picked up. No bail till 90 days. No bail for 90 days if it's proved. And after that the case will be there, you might get a long sentence for torturing a girl. And this is why I'm getting married, I'm going to make a family. Why do I have to pay for it? Why do I have to buy that bridegroom? That means boys are bought. That's what I think. This is a social media, I'm telling you. This is YouTube. And this is what my perception. I have the right to speak what I think. Which is wrong is wrong. Right? So, I'll come back in the next video.